Now let's begin this newscast with some news coming in from Russia, as Russia has backed India's decision to abrogate Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir. Russia's Foreign Affairs Ministry has said that the changes in the status of Jammu and Kashmir as well as its bifurcation are within the framework of India's constitution. Russia has also said that it hopes India and Pakistan will not allow an aggravation of tensions in the region. Russia considers itself as a consistent supporter of the normalization of Indo-Pak ties. It has appealed to the two countries to resolve their differences by diplomatic means and in accordance with the 1972 Shimla Agreement and 1999 Lahore Declaration. For more details, let's quickly go across to our political editor, Mr. Kartikeya Sharma, who's joining me on the phone line. Kartikeya, after the US, UN and now Russia has finally backed India, this only goes on to reflect the frail global support which Pakistan has. And of course, needless to say, India has mustered up quite some support.
I think, this is a very important development. If we have to see it in the historical context, there were multiple motions moved by Pakistan with help of the United States and other countries. They were vetoed by Soviet Union at that point of time. Now, I don't know how much the politics of veto holds today, but the fact that Russia, which is a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council, has openly come out and supported the Indian position on Kashmir. Secondly, affirmed the spirit of Shimla Agreement, saying that it's bilateral. So I've obviously said a hope that the situation which is prevailing in the part of Jammu and Kashmir is made normal. I think it's a very usual statement to make. But to reaffirm the fact that it's internal matter of India, I think it's a great diplomatic victory. One, for it completely gives the message. It's not as if, there is a division of big powers on the issue of Jammu and Kashmir. If you look at UN, if you look at Silence United States of America, if you look at the proactive statement of Russia, we have gathered support on the United Nations Security Council table. The only dissenting voice has come from China, and that was expected. So, in a way, I would say it's a win for Indian diplomacy, and it's a win for our position on Kashmir.
Absolutely. Very rightly said that, China's been the only dissenting voice, and that was expected, certainly because of Ladakh. Interestingly, be it the United Nations or Russia now, they both have invoked the Shimla Agreement, and Russia has also gone on to invoke the Lahore Declaration, which calls for a bilateral cooperation on Kashmir, something that India has been vehemently emphasizing ever since Donald Trump offered to mediate on the issue. How do you see the current scenario now panning out?
I think, Donald Trump's idea of mediation stems from his politics, which he has mastered in the United States, in the sense that, you take a position which is extremely provocative, and then you work from that. It's the things which he has done in North Korea, that he has taken an extremely provocative position vis-a-vis North Korea, and then had a bilateral meeting with Kim. So, both have come together. A position which can aghast people in the diplomatic community, but then do something which is completely opposite of it, to have a sober meeting. Now, saying that, the similar thing Trump is trying to do, but in the Indian case, it's very, very different one. India has a very consistent position on Kashmir. Secondly, Pakistan is the aggressor in Kashmir and has not fulfilled any of its commitments in United Nations Security Council. Thirdly, and the most important aspect of the Kashmir is that Pakistan has sponsored terrorism, one, and Pakistan, apart from sponsoring terrorism, has tried to link it to the larger issue of Afghanistan, thereby blackmailing other countries. India has not done that. And in 1971, when the war was lost, Pakistan lost the war. The term and condition of Shimla Agreement were very fair to Pakistan. In fact, some of the critics of Indira Gandhi say that, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto got away very lightly. But the fact of the matter is that it laid the foundation of what we call the issue of bilateralism. And even in that context, it is acknowledged that Kashmir is a sovereign issue. Kashmir is an issue which is internal to the country. The only bilateral issue is that of terrorism. So let me be very clear. When we talk about bilateral issue, we are talking in context of terrorism. We are talking in context of cross-border issues.
And
we are not talking in context of POK. We are not talking in, absolutely, Akansha, we are not talking in context of sovereignty. Kashmir issue is internal to India.
True.
The only bilateral issue is the terrorism which takes place from across the border, or certain cross-border issues like people-to-people contact.
Absolutely, a very, very valid point made by you over there,
That's about it. Trade. These are bilateral issues. sovereignty is not a bilateral issue.
Absolutely. A very, very valid point made out there by our political editor, Kartikeya Sharma, who says that sovereignty of Kashmir cannot be a bilateral issue. And that is also what justifies the abrogation of Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir. For now, the news remains that Russia, along with the United States and the United Nations, has backed India's move on J&K. Now, India has also reacted strongly to the steps taken by Pakistan after the revocation of special status of Jammu and Kashmir. The Ministry of External Affairs has said that Pakistan should accept the reality and stop meddling in India's internal affairs. Now, on the downgrading of ties, India has said that Pakistan cannot take unilateral decisions.
There is a feeling that Pakistan is nervous. They feel that the development activities and overall welfare of the people of Jammu and Kashmir will nullify their justification for cross-border terrorism. They will not be able to incite separatist activities. They will not be able to support terrorism. They will not be able to mislead people. It is time for Pakistan, frankly, to accept the reality and stop interfering in internal affairs of other countries.
The Indian government has once again sought to instill confidence in the people of Jammu and Kashmir. Listen in to Ravish Kumar.
We also mentioned that all developments pertaining to Article 370, they are entirely the internal affairs of India. It relates to the Constitution of India, which is a sovereign matter. And therefore, we want Pakistan to understand the decisions which they have announced in the light of, the points which I have mentioned.
And so days after the Indian government imposed Section 144 in Jammu and Kashmir, the situation is slowly returning back to normal. Schools and colleges have been reopened in the state after almost a week. Students could be seen heading towards their schools, even though the security forces remained. Even though restrictions and limitations on movement exist, the situation has eased out. Communication systems in the state have also been partly restored. The district administration has installed phone booths in various places as well. Authorities have stocked up 2 months of ration, and stocks of essentials like petrol, diesel have also been put up. Jammu and Kashmir's Governor Satyapal Malik said the situation was peaceful and the authorities were working towards restoring normalcy at the earliest.
राशन का स्टॉक 2 महीने का हमारे पास है। अगस्त का डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हो गया था। मोबाइल वैन में देके आज हमने शहर में भेजा था। 2 बजे तक सारा खत्म हो गया था। खूब बड़ा है, कोई कमी किसी तरह की नहीं है। फ्यूल में पेट्रोल डीजल 25 दिन का है, सफिशिएंट स्टॉक है। एलपीजी की रेगुलर सप्लाई है और केरोसिन ऑयल 60 दिन का है और रेगुलरली वो रिप्लेनिश होती रहती हैं सारी चीजें। एसेंशियल सर्विसेज में पावर सप्लाई, वाटर सप्लाई, सैनिटेशन 1600 कर्मचारी ऑन ड्यूटी हैं जो काम कर रहे हैं। पूरे कश्मीर में 10,000 लोग हैं जो इनकी ड्यूटीज पे आ रहे हैं, काम कर रहे हैं। हेल्पलाइन डीसी के ऑफिस में हमने लगवाई थी। एक दिन में 400 लोगों ने उस पर बातचीत की अपने बच्चों से, बच्चों ने अपने पेरेंट्स से। बैंक्स में एटीएम्स ज्यादातर मैक्सिमम फंक्शनल हो गए हैं। कल परसों तक सारे हो जाएंगे, लेकिन लोगों में कहीं कोई वायलेंस की, उपद्रव करने की या कोई गलत काम करने की कोई फीलिंग नहीं है। पीपल आर पीसफुल।
The state is also gearing up for the celebrations of Eid on Monday. On Friday, the administration had relaxed curbs to allow people to offer the special Friday prayers. People thronged to mosques in Srinagar and Jammu to offer their prayers. The central government had earlier withdrew the state's special status and imposed Section 144 to keep a check on the law and order situation. The state has also been bifurcated into 2 separate union territories, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. But the union territories will come into existence on October 31st on the birth anniversary of India's first Home Minister, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Now, Congress's working committee is scheduled to